Today we are going to explore several natural phenomena that could kill you in merely seconds. These mysterious elements of nature are strange and difficult to predict, but also often very beautiful. We're about to see some of the scariest examples of how nature appears deceptively beautiful, but actually harbors a dark secret. Ready? Let's go. First up, we have to look at what happened in the year of 1986. During August, the people who lived around the tranquil waters of Lake Nyos in northwest Cameroon slept peacefully in their homes. The following morning, the tranquil scene would be shattered when an explosion of carbon dioxide from the lake bed claimed the lives of approximately 1,700 people. This event became known as a limnic eruption. Limnic eruptions are extremely rare events in which large volumes of carbon dioxide gas that is dissolved in deep lake water suddenly gets released. This happens as a result of a self-induced overturn. How does it happen? In simple terms, warmer surface water temperatures allow more CO2 to dissolve in the water. When this carbon dioxide-rich water sinks, it mixes with colder water, which releases the gas in the form of bubbles. But here's the catch. Since carbon dioxide is heavier than air, this accumulation of bubbles can form a dense cloud that rolls downhill. And that's exactly what happened at the lake. Residents reported hearing a rumbling noise coming from the lake, followed by an abrupt release of gas. As the invisible and odorless cloud moved through the valleys, it smothered people and animals alike. Many victims were found in their sleep, suggesting peaceful slumber until death intervened. The true extent of the disaster was not immediately realized. Initially, people assumed the deaths were due to a gas leak or pesticide poisoning. It wasn't until later that the horrifying truth of the limnic eruption was uncovered. To prevent such tragedies, scientists now monitor other potentially affected lakes. Ironically, this lake had already seen a similar tragedy 2 years prior. Back in 1984, Lake Manoon claimed the lives of 37 people in a smaller but equally devastating incident, while Lake Nyos saw roughly 1,700 people pass away, but also an additional 3,500 livestock. Scientists believe that subtle variations in temperature and depth across different lakes contribute to the rarity of these events. They are still considered rare, although there are hundreds of deep lakes worldwide susceptible to this phenomenon. Moving on, let's look at the bizarre cases of the Yunnan sudden death syndrome. For many years, a mysterious syndrome baffled medical experts in the remote region of Yunnan in southwest China. During the hot, humid days of midsummer, something inexplicable was happening. People, mainly farmers and villagers, were dying unexpectedly right in the middle of their daily activities, and the deaths seemed to come out of nowhere. The victims often experienced symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and heart palpitations before collapsing and passing away. At first, there were theories of mass hysteria or a contagious disease outbreak. However, these ideas were discarded due to the lack of any psychological or communicable factors at play. The enigma deepened, leaving locals fearful of a supernatural curse, but the truth turned out to be even more sinister and unexpected. The breakthrough in solving this mystery came when researchers discovered a small, inconspicuous fungus called Trogia venenata, nicknamed Little White, hiding among edible mushrooms. This species of mushroom contained lethal amino acids and barium salts. This discovery led to the realization that the victims had unknowingly consumed these poisonous mushrooms during their regular foraging for food. The mushrooms grew abundantly in the lush, moist forests of Yunnan, blending seamlessly with harmless varieties. This revelation was a grim reminder of nature's deceptive side. What appeared to be an innocent practice of collecting wild mushrooms for consumption was, in fact, a risky gamble with death. The deadly toxin in the mushrooms interfered with the body's vital functions, leading to the sudden and unexpected deaths. This case highlighted the fine line between life and death in the natural world and emphasized the need for caution even in the most commonplace activities. Next up, we have to look at what happened to a hiker in California in 2020. Imagine you re-enjoying a sunny day. The sky is clear and there's not a cloud in sight. Then suddenly a bolt of lightning strikes out of nowhere and hits you. It might sound like something out of a movie, but this seemingly impossible scenario has happened multiple times. It's known as a bolt from the blue or dry lightning, and it is more common than you might think. David Canals was a young father who loved nothing more than spending time with his family in Florida. But on February 24, 2020, his life was tragically cut short when he was struck by a bolt from the blue while walking home from a grocery store. The incident was captured on surveillance video showing a bright flash followed by smoke rising from the spot where he was standing. Witnesses reported seeing a flash of light but no thunder or lightning. Another instance of a bolt from the blue occurred in 2013 when 29-year-old Matthew Bean was hiking the famous John Muir Trail in California. Despite the clear skies, he decided to seek shelter under a tree. Moments later, he was struck by lightning and instantly killed. These are just two of the many cases of people being killed by bolts from the blue. So even when the sky is clear, it's important to remember that lightning can strike in unusual circumstances. The explanation for bolts from the blue lies in the unpredictable nature of thunderstorms. Unlike typical lightning strikes, which occur within visible storm clouds, bolts from the blue originate from high-altitude thunderstorms. These storms produce weak electric fields and can remain undetected, making the lightning strikes they produce difficult to anticipate. Bolts from the blue are actually more common than you might think. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Meteorology and Climatology in 2016, they account for about 10% of all lightning fatalities. There are various theories as to why bolts from the blue are particularly dangerous. One is that people are more likely to seek shelter under trees, which can channel the electrical discharge, increasing the risk of injury or death. Another theory is that the high altitude of these storms means that the lightning strikes are more likely to occur on the ground, rather than within clouds, again, increasing the risk to humans and other life forms. So remember, if you're caught outdoors on a day with clear skies, don't rule out the possibility of lightning. Stay aware of your surroundings and be prepared to take cover if necessary. Moving on, I want to quickly run through several other unexplained natural phenomena that could kill you in merely seconds. First, we have to look at deadly caustic springs. Springs may seem inviting, but not all of them are safe. Take, for example, Jacob's Well in Texas. It looks like your typical picturesque swimming hole, but it hides a dark secret. Next, we have to look at the death zone. On Mount Everest, above 26,000 feet, the human body begins to die. Every breath taken becomes a debt paid by the body cell by cell, with or without oxygen. This is the harsh reality of the death zone, a zone of death on the planet's highest peak. Now let's look at the Bolton Strid. This narrow stretch of river in England may look deceptively benign, but it's actually one of the deadliest spots in the country. Anyone who falls into its waters faces a near certain fate as the current drags them under and holds them underwater until they drown. Then we have dirty thunderstorms. Imagine a raging thunderstorm born within the fury of a volcanic ash cloud, lightning bolts dancing wildly in a mix of fire and fury. These dirty thunderstorms are a rare but terrifying spectacle. Well, there you have it, a chilling journey into the world of nature's deadliest surprises. From the invisible menace of limnic eruptions to the deceptively poisonous mushrooms, from the unexpected fury of bolts from the blue to the treacherous allure of seemingly harmless springs, nature has shown us its darker side. Remember, sometimes behind serene appearances lurk dangers we cannot see, so always respect the wild, for it holds mysteries both beautiful and brutal. But our exploration doesn't end here. There's more to uncover, more to understand, and more to fear. Stay tuned for more terrifying tales. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and stay safe. Thanks for watching.